like, you're gonna get haters. Like, that's the deal. Like, you're gonna get haters. I mean, they don't hate on anybody who's doing nothing. So understand, if somebody's judging you, that's more about them than you.
But to see them in this element makes me so proud. What you did for them was like exponential for your heart and in life. So you're giving a life of service to people, and I love you for it. I'm very proud of you.
Cheers.
Here's Davey and his wonderful wife, because we know he can't do this without her.
You know, I'm just sitting here, now being back from the event we did in San Francisco, Multiply Your Results. What a phenomenal event, but what a phenomenal week it was. I spent a week in the Bay Area. The Bay Area is so close to me because I grew up there. I grew up in San Jose, California. First night that I got into San Francisco, we went and had an amazing dinner at Little Joe's. If you're in San Francisco, you really want to go to this place. A great friend of mine owns it. I mean, it blew me away. The environment, the food, the service, it was phenomenal. But then that night we went to see the Yankees and Giants play. And if you've been following me, I'm an avid sports fan, but I'm an avid Yankees fan. Because I value sports so much, we had really good seats. We were second row behind the Yankees dugout. You could literally hear them talking to each other when they were coming into the dugout or when they were coming to bat. But they had to pause us because Willie Mays, one of the best players, maybe the best player of all time to ever play baseball, was right next to us. For me, it was an iconic moment. But then I got to see my boy Aaron Judge hit 2 home runs. My wife and I had such a phenomenal time. The people there were so gracious with us. They were so friendly. A phenomenal stadium. I've been to a lot of stadiums. It's one of my favorite stadiums. I'm giving you an idea of how the week went, just so I could paint a picture for you. My wife and I went to Napa. My brother runs a foundation. We went and I played in a charity golf tournament, and they had an event for the foundation, and it was just a phenomenal 2 days in Napa. I go to Napa about once a year. I love going there. It's a little getaway. We stay at this hotel that we fall in love with called Bardessono. If you've never been there, you should check it out. 2 days of just relaxing and enjoying ourselves. Now I'm driving back from Napa to San Francisco, and all I'm thinking about is the event. And all I'm thinking about is how can I deliver for these people. I'm hoping an hour and 45 minutes of teaching. Okay. And then I'll do Q&A. I will tell you this, and it's my intent at every event to do better than the event before, give more value. But I really think this event was significantly better than the pop-up we did in Dallas. And not because we didn't give a great event in Dallas, but I'm always getting better at what I'm doing and upgrading. And I created new concepts for the people in San Francisco, and the energy of the room, first of all, was incredible. People were so enthusiastic.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention, everybody? We want to thank everybody so very much for coming today. My name is David. On behalf of all of the staff at Boss Coach & Co., we want to thank you for coming out to Original Joe's here at Westlake. Today we do have a very special presentation for you. Those of you who've been following Arash for a long time, you understand. This is the absolute best of the best when it comes to performance, when it comes to increasing your results. So that's what we're about today. You get to know him a little bit better. We get to know a little bit more about you. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Put your hands together. Help me welcome Mr. Arash Vossoughi.
It is so good to put some faces to people that I've worked with for years. You know, Paul said that I worked with him 4 years ago. So it's really humbling for me to be with all of you. And I have a powerful lesson for you. And my job is to bring it for you guys. I know some of you traveled very long distances to get here, and I appreciate that. It's so good to be back in the Bay Area. I grew up in San Jose, California, and every time I come back, I would never want to live here. But every time Every time I come back, I get so nostalgic. So it's always so great to be in the Bay Area. I love being here. But what I want to do tonight is really give you guys some big ideas that you can implement. Now, I'm going to give you a lot of ideas, and I don't encourage you to try to implement all of them, or else you're going to overwhelm yourself. And I want you to pretend that I'm speaking to you. Now, for some of you, tonight is going to change your life. And I say for some of you because those some will do exactly what I'm telling you. I just got a text last night I did an event like this in Dallas. And a gentleman texted me, and he showed me a screenshot of his sales numbers in his bank account. We did that in May, so about, where are we? June? So about a month, and he improved his sales by 62%. He improved his income by $20,000 in 1 month. And a lot of people will study this information, but they don't become it. And it doesn't matter how much you study it without implementation. And so I want you to really think about what do you want. And I want you to think that I'm only talking to you. Now, I want this to be interactive, so if I'm teaching something, you have a question, I want you to ask it. Like, don't feel bashful. And because I want you to leave here really set up to make a massive impact into the world. Because the better you are, the more impact you're gonna make.
My name is Paul Goulart. I'm from San Francisco, and I'm here because I did some business with, actually Arash introduced me to this stuff 4 years ago. And I have never met him, only talked on the phone, and I'm so looking forward to meeting him and shaking his hand and saying thank you.
And I'm Lako Matcham, and I've been following Arash and of course Bob for a number of years. And we're so excited to be able to be in the room with him and to be able to manifest faster and faster and faster.
But I want one thing that would elevate your life more than anything else. One thing, what would that be? That's what we're working towards. That one thing is yours, you accept it. See, you've got to understand the present is meaningless if we don't have something for us to grow into in the future. It is meaningless. There's nothing for us to work on if we don't have a want. There's nothing for us to get uncomfortable about if we don't have a deep desire. So you have to be working on your want. Your want comes from the essence of who you are. It comes from your subconscious mind, and it channels it to your conscious mind, and your job is to accept it. And see, you can, like you're saying you want to be a coach, okay? So that want came from deep within. Your job is to accept it. Somebody else could have a want and say, I just want to be more fulfilled. That could be a want. Somebody could have a want and say, I want to turn my annual income into my monthly income. But we have to accept that idea and start reframing our programming. But understand this, it's the future that dictates the decisions you make right now. And if you don't have a big idea you're committed to that you've fallen in love with, you're gonna start and stop. You're gonna start and stop all the time. But we have to understand you can have whatever you want. Now, if I tell you that, do you accept that idea? You accept it? Okay. You believe it? Okay. Do you believe it emotionally?
Yes.
Okay, that's the key. Because you could talk to somebody and they say intellectually, I believe it. Then I'll ask them, well, do you believe it emotionally? And they pause. Now, you didn't pause, so I believe you believe it. If you would have paused, I would have told you something different. But understand, the biggest sabotage for creating what you want is coming from a place of neediness. What is neediness? I don't have it. You're always looking at what you don't have. It's coming and putting all your energy on what is. You're letting your present results control you.
Yeah, can you go over maybe a few questions that you ask yourself at the end of the day to make sure you're actually doing the work? Because we get foggy in our minds and we think we're doing it and we're actually not.
Yeah, well, there's something I should have shared earlier. if you want to create significant success, you have to be brutally honest with yourself. So that's number one. But everything I just showed with Heidi, I do at the end of the day. So I go to the power of 5, and this is what I did years ago. And when I do the power of 5, I just say, did I act like that person today? What were my actions that I did today? What type of decisions did I make? Did I make decisions in my comfort zone or out of my comfort zone? Was I all in or was I half in? So then let's say because I don't want to project this on you, let's say I had a bad attitude. I wouldn't beat myself up about it. I'd be like, that's interesting. There was some reason I had a bad attitude. I didn't accept and reject properly. And then I say, tomorrow I'm gonna have the best attitude I've ever had. So I make whatever I didn't do what I'm gonna do.
I was trying to find a client originally before I started working with you. And we were there, for 3 years? And my paradigm would just come up and start and stop. And when we started working with you, that's when I started doing the processes. The client was, my new client that I have today for my mindset coaching program was right in front of me the whole time. And all it took was the repetition, the auto-suggestion, changing my mindset, training my subconscious to just ask this one question, which was, have you ever thought about working on your mindset? And that just led to one thing to another, and then all the work that I had been doing just kind of
came out automatically, yeah.
And she just became my client.
That's great.
But it was because of the work that we were doing mentally and emotionally.
I think what I want you to do is set a monthly goal. Don't be satisfied with that one client. Like, you can get a lot of those ones. So set a goal that'll stretch you. 10 clients a month. That would be a good goal for you. Because that's probably gonna, in your mind, that's such a big idea.
As a matter of fact, it's 8.
8?
But 10 sounds better.
10 sounds much better. 10 is much better. Yeah, it's a much. But if you could work with one, you could work with 1,000.
Hi, my name is Vladimir. I am here today to see Arash. The moment Arash announced that he was hosting this event, instantly I decided I have to be at this event no matter what. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get here, because Arash has a profound understanding of the nature of human transformation and the secret of human consciousness and potential. And just to be in his presence and in his energy is a blessing in and of itself. And a question that I plan to ask Arash is, how can I create the life of my dreams, the life of freedom of my dreams, from a place of inner wholeness as quickly as possible? And I know this man holds the answers to that question.
I mean, you're gonna have a lot of haters. You should see some of the messages I get. I love them. I love them. I had this one guy tell me, I was responding to another one of our clients, but it was all over the place. And I said, my thing to him is your income always reflects your service. And he goes, I need to ponder that. And I said, I think you should. And this one gentleman goes, fuck you, Arash Vossoughi. So I respond back, and I go, you seem like you're very pleasant. and like, you're gonna get haters. Like, that's the deal. Like, you're gonna get haters. I mean, they don't hate on anybody who's doing nothing. So understand, if somebody's judging you, that's more about them than you. That's not about you.
So my name is Joanna, and I'm here today to meet Arash. He's my mentor. I've been following Arash probably since 2016, 17, and honestly, the information he delivered changed our life, and that's why we're here, because we're so full of gratitude for this information that he shares, and all his knowledge, all his wisdom, and how much change we're being able to do in our lives because of his material. So we're very, very happy to be here.
I feel like I know my significant why, but it's not a tangible goal. Like my biggest why, I guess, like my purpose is like mukti, enlightenment, nirvana. And I have my financial goals. I don't want my financial goals to interfere with my spiritual practice, and I don't want my spiritual practice to interfere with my financial goals. How do I?
Well, number one, everything is spiritual. Everything is.
true.
No, listen to me. This is where you got to get it. Everything is about spirit. There's nothing that's not spirit. So what do you think money is? You can either create a spiritual economy or you could create a hard economy. A spiritual economy is how you're unleashing your gifts doing what you love. But there is nothing that doesn't have a spiritual component in it. Like, you got to understand, I heard Steve Jobs say this. He said every principle affects every other principle in this world. And I started thinking about it and I'm like, shit, he's right. Like everything does. So, see, I think what I encourage you to do is start reevaluating your belief system. And how you reevaluate a belief system, you say, is this real? Is this true? So we want to constantly reevaluate our belief system because that's our attitude towards something. But if you start looking at it from not your current perspective, but a neutral perspective, you're going to get the answer to what you want. We all have to do this. Like, this isn't just me. This isn't just you. We all have to get in the habit of constantly reevaluating our belief system. You're not going to upgrade your beliefs if you don't reevaluate it. So that's what we have to get really good at. So ask yourself these questions when you're reevaluating. Is it real? Is it my perception of it? And is it the accurate perception? You're going to get the answer right away, I promise you. Yeah. So thank all of you, and it was great. We are just wrapping up, just finished dinner after our event, and it was phenomenal. London, you're next. I can't wait to come and create so much impact in London. The energy tonight was absolutely phenomenal. People traveled from Las Vegas, all parts of California. Someone drove over 10 hours. So grateful for all the people. It's only getting better. And they stayed after for at least 45 minutes, and I was able to sign books. I was able to talk to people individually, but we had some massive breakthroughs. I've already got messages. You know, the funny thing is, I was telling the people in the room in San Francisco, just in a month, I had somebody at my Dallas event who created a significant, best month he's ever had in his life since that event in his sales numbers. And I told them on text, I said, you're just getting started. It's gonna keep getting better as you implement the ideas. And I shared the story for the people in San Francisco. I think people think, or may think, you know, the pop-up event's just a few hours. It is 3 octane fueled hours of content and application for somebody to create a massive jump. And I can't wait till the one I'm doing in London. The one in London has been already so exciting for me. You know, we keep these events around 40 people. London has changed our paradigm around it. The reason is there was such demand that I had to upgrade the room. Now we're gonna have 100 people in that room. And I can't wait to meet the 100. Trust me, it is worth the investment for you to get to London. It is going to blow you away. In a couple months, your results are gonna really thank you. You know, I think one of the best things I've done this year are these pop-up events. And the whole purpose I've done them is to give back. I don't charge anything for them. I just want to give back. If you're watching this, get in one of those rooms. I don't care if you have to travel. Spend the money to travel. It will be well worth it. But I'm going to give you another one of these after London, and I can't wait to go to London because it's my first time going there, and I have some exciting plans while I'm there. I'm going to see Wimbledon. I was a big tennis fan growing up. I played competitive tennis growing up. We're gonna go see my favorite band, AC/DC, in Wembley Stadium, which is my bucket list because I've never seen them. And then I'm going to Paris. So I am really looking forward to what's ahead.